YouTubers? Long time no see, guys. So I was at Ales Unlimited in San Francisco, and I happened to run into this beer, and I was like, I've never seen this before. Why is that? And he's like, well, we just got it 2 days ago. So here's a brand new beer by Green Flash called the Rayon Vert, and it is a 7% Belgian pale ale. And what makes it Belgian isn't really a Belgian yeast per se, but they actually use Brettanomyces on this pale ale, which actually Green Flash themselves said is a pretty risky thing they did, but is something that they really wanted to do. Quite interesting that Chuck Silva and a couple other people, they started looking through some of the Belgian breweries, and they found some inspiration from St. Freulians, and they decided to do something like this. And if you know your beer, a Belgian pale ale with Brettanomyces, that's somewhat similar to Orval. So that means, and Chuck Silva himself said this, that it is going to be a beer that's constantly evolving. It's going to be changing, so you really have to kind of take care of it, because as you know, Orval does change quite a bit, depends on how it's taken care of, and also because it has Brettanomyces. So anyways, that's a little background on this, but let me go ahead and open this up and show you how it is. And man, I could smell the funk from here. Man, so like a 2.5 finger head. Man, the carbonation is going crazy in this thing, if you can see it. It's like somewhat cloudy orange, brownish orange. Let me check the aroma on this. Okay, wow. Yeah, that is really floral, like a Belgian ale floral. But it has some of this kind of like this dirty, funky kind of thing going on. Oh yeah, I mean, it's not so much a specific flower like a lavender per se, but it is definitely that kind of nice floral effervescent. It has this like, you know, San Diego thing going on, so it definitely has that slight citrus thing going on, but it is strongly Belgian pale Brettanomyces. So let me go ahead and give it a taste here. Kampai. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is really nice. Definitely taste that Belgian yeast. That just a lot of the floral aspects from the aroma to the taste. It's very dry. As you can imagine, San Diego hops plus this Belgian saison and pale influence. It has a very dry taste to it. Quite a bit of carbonation. Pretty champagne-like in that way, but not so much in the flavor, but more in the dry, high carbonation aspect to it. The flavor of it, like I said, is floral, but it has some sweet malt to it. Just some apricot to along with like some light tangerines as well. Yeah, the dryness is like borderline saison, but you definitely know that it's not. They don't use a saison yeast in this. You know what? I actually think this is quite good. I could imagine every bottle that any of you get of this would be quite different. As you can imagine, it's Green Flash's first attempt to something risky, so it may not be as consistent as Orval, but then again, Orval isn't really known for it to be consistent. But while it's really dry, it still leaves this slight sweet malty residue towards the end that is more the apricot tangerine like fruit flavors to it, while the floral effervescence just still just flowing through your mouth. It's really nice, actually. Yeah, this is much more Belgian-y than I expected at all, and I'm actually quite impressed, because a lot of American breweries, it's hard to pull off this Belgian kind of taste, and this really has it spot on, and yet it has this sweetness going on toward after the dry finish. You know, it just kind of lingers on. It has that sweetness. Maybe that's the American aspect of it. While the dry, slight citrus bitterness at the end is kind of like plays along throughout the taste of this beer. I think this is actually quite good, and really impressed with the Rayon Vert. This could be very different. You know, you're like, oh, this, I'm gonna get this because Beerichi Tuba said this awesome, and you get it, and you're like, what the F, right? So you never know, and that's what the guy said. They say it's risky. It's going to be different depending on how it's stored. It could change, and even if it's stored really well, it could still change because of the Brettanomyces. The funkiness is definitely there, but it's not as strong. But I could imagine if it's sitting around for a while, it'll start kicking in and stuff, and some of it's definitely in the bottom. There's quite a bit of that sediment in the bottom. So anyways, I have to give this an A minus. It's actually quite good, and I'm very impressed with Green Flash for pulling this off. At least this bottle, spot on. I'm really enjoying it. I think they did an excellent job. So I think it's worth a try. If you're disappointed or just were like whatever about the first bottle you get another 2 or 3. You get a 4-pack of it, or you can get a few bombers of it and give it a try. So, anyways, this is the Rayon Vert 7% Belgian Pale Ale by Green Flash with Brettanomyces. Highly recommend it, and I'll see you guys in the next beer blog. Bye.